Hey guys, and welcome back to another Gun 3D video, and today we're going to be looking at the top 6 weapons I think you should buy. Now right away, I just want to say that these are not the top 6 best weapons, but I think you should all try them out one day. Now with all of that in mind, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and now let's get right into the video. Coming in at number 6 on this list, we have the Numchucks, and the reason why I put these on the list is because, first of all, they look awesome, and second of all, they are really good in-game. To a max armor player, I'm pretty sure it takes like 2 or 3 headshots to them, which is really easy to get if you are good at using them, and the reason why I put this in at number 6 is because it's kind of difficult to use when everyone's using Ghost Lantern, but if you can get around the fact that they're using that, it is really good. And the swinging animation on this thing, it looks awesome. Just look at it. It's like, I don't know, it just looks so cool to me. The mobility on this thing is really good, the damage is really good, and so everything is great on it. And as you can see in the gameplay, I'm getting a lot of kills actually, which usually with like any normal melee you won't get a lot of kills, but with this thing it makes it pretty easy since it's one-shotted to some people. And ever since this thing came out in the 11.4.0 update, a lot of people, I have seen like so many people using this because it's just a great weapon overall. If you're looking for a weapon that, you know, isn't strictly for mobility, this thing is great because it can kill them and you're really fast with it. So overall, this is a really balanced, great weapon that I think you should all buy. And that is why it came in at the number 6 spot. Now let's get into number 5. Coming in at number 5 and the premium section, we have the Heavy Gifter. And the reason why I put this on the list is because, you know, look at it, it's so unique, so good looking. And if you learn to use the fast fire glitch, this thing can actually be one of the best premium weapons on the game. So the damage isn't too good, but if you think about it, if it has like an extremely big explosion radius like this weapon, it is actually really good overall. This all makes it really easy for you just to shoot at the ground and it will kill them most of the time. So this thing is great against lower level players and it's pretty good against high level players. To a max adamant armor player, I'm pretty sure it takes like 3, but it makes it pretty easy because the mag size is really big and you can fire pretty fast with it. But the reason why I put this in at number 5 is because I feel like a lot of people don't like this weapon just because Ghost Lantern and Solar Power Cannon are so much better in ways, I guess. But, you know, I don't see anyone ever using this for some reason. It's so fun to use to me. And it's probably one of the more skilled premium weapons out there right now. So if you're a pro at like Gun or something, this thing's actually really good and I hope you all try it out sometime. And again, you know, I never see people using this for some reason. It's really fun and I don't think it costs a lot either. Which, in a way, that makes this weapon probably one of the most underrated guns on the game to me. Another cool thing about this is, you know, that bell right there, it looks so cool to me. It's like dangling, and there's Christmas lights and, you know, little socks on the side, which is really cool, and it's a chimney, of course. And that may be part of the reason why I like it so much, just because I love Christmas, and, you know, this weapon really shows off Christmas. So basically, if you get skilled with this weapon, it could potentially be the best weapon for you. And for me, you know, the reload animation looks cool, everything looks cool. The speed on it is kind of low, but, you know, it doesn't really matter because you can switch from melee to rocket pretty fast, which makes it really easy to use this weapon. Plus, if you put the right gear on and right mods and everything, this weapon is so good. Like, as you can see in the gameplay, I'm actually doing pretty good with it. And there are a lot of, you know, smart rocket bazookas, which are really annoying. Look at all of those rockets. So overall, really good weapon. I highly recommend you all pick it up. Let's get into the number 4 spot. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the turbo pistols, and, you know, really good backup section weapon. Has a lot of damage, a lot of mobility, which makes it great. And to make it even cooler, it's basically Tracer's pistols, and, you know, who doesn't like Tracer, I guess. The fire rate, the mobility speed, the looks, all looks great on this weapon. It's probably in the top 5 best weapons, like backup weapons in the game right now, I think. Like, if I were to make a list right now, this would probably be in like 3 or 4 spot, which is really good, and this thing doesn't cost too much. which makes it a really good option for free-to-play players out there. And as you can see, it's actually doing pretty good. I guess it's kind of hard to use it against like Little Dragon and Ghost Lantern and stuff like that, but if you're good with it, and you have like really good aim, you can actually do really good with this weapon. And with the mobility on the higher end, you don't really need to switch off of your melee and this weapon too often, which makes it really good for like all the survival situations, like when you're running away from a Ghost Lantern, running away from a little Stormhammer person. So, you know, and the range on this thing is actually decent if you learn to like tap fire instead of just spraying. And again, the design looks amazing. You have like 2 crystals. The reload animation is really unique, and that makes me love it so much. And being an Overwatch fan, this weapon is really fun to use because it's just like Tracers again. But one of the reasons why I only put it in at the number 4 spot is because there are like the Exterminator and the really fast firing weapons that can beat this in some situations. But again, we're not looking at the best weapons, we're just looking at fun to play, good weapons that don't cost too much. And all of that makes this a really good weapon, and I highly recommend you all pick that up. Now let's get right into the next spot. Coming in at the number 3 spot on this list is one of my personal favorite weapons, and a really old weapon in Pixgun, the Automatic Peacemaker. Now, over the years we have seen a lot of changes in this weapon, visually and, you know, in-game, the damage and stuff. And the reason why I like this weapon so much is just because its fire rate is so good, which makes it really easy to kill people, like anyone who's using a premium weapon, and it makes it really easy to aim it. Like if you're not a good aimer or anything, this weapon is probably for you. Like for me, this weapon is the definition of spray and pray. So like whenever I'm just chilling, playing some Pixgun without like trying too hard, this is probably the weapon that I'm gonna use. So if you're not really a tryhard in Pixgun, this is probably the weapon that I'd recommend to you in the primary section. And you know, even if you are a tryhard, this weapon, it can be great in, you know, 1v1s and stuff. And overall in like the primary section, I'd say this is definitely the top 5, in the top 5 I guess. Plus, in the primary section, we don't have a lot of miniguns, and in Pixgun in general, we don't have a lot of miniguns, which makes this one pretty unique. Usually, primary weapons struggle against Adamant Armor player, but this weapon you can actually get really good gameplay. Of course, in the background gameplay, I'm not doing too good just because, you know, I'm not really good at Pixgun too much anymore. And, you know, just look at this. All these people have Adamant Armor, and I'm still doing pretty good. And usually if you were to use primary only, you'd probably struggle, but this weapon makes it pretty easy to use. Because of the mag size, you don't have to reload too much. The mobility's kind of low, but that doesn't really matter if you have a good melee weapon. If I were to pick one of the primary weapons to use forever, this would probably be like my 3rd or 2nd choice. It's really fun to use, and you know, I just love it for some reason. And that's why I put it in at the number 3 spot. Now let's get right into number 2. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have one of my favorite weapons ever, and this one is the Laser Spear. Now this weapon was recently added, and I'm so happy that they did add it, because just look at it, it's so unique, so fun to use, and this probably would be my number 1 spot, but I haven't been praising the number 1 spot for so long, and it just recently got buffed, the number 1 spot, so this is in number 2 for a reason, I guess. For the special section, I'd probably say this is in the top 3 actually, and it's so fun to use. Mobility is great, takes a lot of skill, which I kind of like that about it, because Pixgun can get pretty annoying to play when you're always using like Ghost Lantern and stuff. And the projectiles on this look so cool, and their like travel time is pretty slow, and it's like a laser that goes through everyone. So if you're playing in like a hallway map like Silent School, this thing is great. I'm pretty sure it's like a reference to a different thing. I'm not sure. It's Gother told me about that. I'm not sure. It might be. He said it was from some sort of anime or something. So eventually I'll have to go check that out. And if it's Gother, you're watching this, tell me which anime it was from. On like a fun scale of this weapon, I'd probably say it's in the top 2, I guess. Like, just calculating where the projectiles are going to go is so fun, and just watching it fly through the air and killing everyone in its path is so fun to watch. It's kind of like the Ghost Lantern, but this one actually takes some sort of skill, and is really hard to aim sometimes. And against Adamant Armor player, it's actually a one-shot to the head, which is really good, but not a one-shot to the body, unfortunately. Plus, this weapon sounds extremely cool, which is another addition to how cool it is. Color scheme is great. I love black and blue together. And, you know, if they're jumping around, this thing's kind of hard to aim and stuff, which makes it really easy for you to die really often. Like to, I don't know, just any weapon in general, I guess. But overall, a great, really fun weapon to use, and I highly recommend you all pick this up, and that is why it's in at number 2 spot on this list. Coming in at the number 1 spot for the number 1 recommended weapon on this list is the laser bow, and recently this thing just got a huge buff, which makes it so good. It's like one shot to everyone except for Adamant Armor players, and you can still one shot Adamant Armor players to the head. As you can see in the gameplay, I'm just destroying everyone with it, and it's so fun to use. Probably in the game, this is definitely the number 1 spot for all snipers, I'm pretty sure. It has a great scope, really looks cool, and, you know, it bounces off walls, which is awesome. Oh, I just love this weapon. Like, all of you guys were telling me in the comments, saying, like, this was the best sniper in the game, and I 100% agree with you all. It's pretty easy to aim, the crosshairs look great, the scope, inside the scope, it looks really cool, and with the mobility being decent, you can run away from most spammers, I guess. I just love this weapon right now. I've been playing with it a lot, and if you're wondering why my trophies are so low, like, my pixel gun has been glitching out so much. Like, every now and then I'll just lose a random weapon or something, or like, you know, all of my trophies will reset in like a month or so, which gets really annoying, and Really Soft really needs to fix that soon. So if you're looking for a really good sniper, this is definitely an amazing one to choose. It's really good. Look at this. Like, I'm doing really good in the gameplay, and usually I don't do very good, I guess, because I'm not really good at this game too much anymore. In the Prime of Pixelgun, I did so good in the gameplay for some weird reason, and I guess my skill is going away, I guess. I don't really play this game too much anymore, but I guess taking breaks makes the game more fun to play every now and then. But overall, the laser bow, it's so good, and I'm not sure what level you can get it, but it's going to be good for the rest of the game if you do buy it, and that's why it is at the number 1 spot on this list. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to comment down below what weapon you think everyone should buy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.